Let's build a stomper. Come on, lads. Hello everybody, and welcome back to Let's Build a Stomper. So guys, let's continue with my commentary of what I'm doing. So I had a bit of a think and about the feet, and I realised that, well, when the body is actually fully done, all the detail applied to it, also when the head and arms are stuck on, it's going to be very, very top heavy. So I decided to counterbalance that, or counteract that, by adding a bunch of weight to the feet. Now, seeing as the feet were hollow, I took advantage of this and used a load of loose change. Because quite frankly, I hate having 2p's and 1p's rattling around in my pockets or rattling around my room. So I thought, hey, let's make good use of them and weigh down the feet with it. Essentially all I'm doing is just gluing them in place, just pouring glue in there and sliding them in, lining up where I want the actual feet to go, because like I said, I didn't want a really static pose. I wanted like maybe 1 foot offset slightly. Also, thank you for the comments from the last episode. There's some really awesome ideas in there. Also, so the guys that use expanding foam, all on that, guys. I'm all on it. Essentially, you guys had pretty much read my mind. I'm going to use expanding foam for this. However, I'm going to feature more of the expanding foam in the next hobby tip. Just because I think that it's worth looking in detail, and it's worth looking. I'm just getting the balance there, by the way. That's what was weighing there. Like, you kind of looked like I was weighing a pair of bollocks up. Now, here we go. Got some new green stuff. Got a nice 36 inches of green stuff from the Troll Trader off eBay. I think it's 7 odd quid for this much green stuff, which is a lot. Now, you guys might be wondering why I'm rolling green stuff, and it's not actually to stick any of the weight down in there, any of the money. Essentially, what I'm going to do, I am going to use this. I'm using this, mixing it all up. I'm going to put it round the edge of the PVC pipe, so that I can pop the body on top without having too much hassle. Essentially what will happen is the body will level out with the green stuff, and it will create a nice flat surface for me to actually stick it to once it's been sunk in. And now you might be thinking, well, Jojo man, why are you doing this? Because, you know, you're not going to be able to put the expanding foam in. Have no fear, guys. What I'm actually going to do, once this green stuff is dry, I'm going to pop the legs off, and I'm going to then do the expanding foam in that, and once the legs have been taken off the actual body. Oh, I do believe my camcorder just about to go into standby. Why was it on? Silly camcorder. So as you can see there, guys, it's on, and to be honest, it's going to create a really decent surface area for me to glue it. A few of you guys did say, you know, you should have put the PVC piping up into the actual body. I didn't think of this. Now what I'm kind of doing at the moment, I'm kind of just mucking around with ideas what I can use for the belly cannon, also how the arms are going to go, and just general ideas. Okie dokie, guys, so what I'm doing now, I'm just weighing up what kind of glyphs I want to use. This is my little tray of press molds that I have. I've got a shit ton of them in there, all made from Oyamaru. I'm using this red first aid box thingy just to roll it out on. I normally use a sheet of plastic card, but when I'm actually cutting them off, and when I'm actually doing this business, when I'm trimming the edges, it actually scores into it and makes a mess of the plastic card, and makes it fracture and bend, and basically gives me an undesirable result. So yeah, this is my press mold making process. I decided to take a break from the stomper just for a little while, because yeah, I need press molds. I've got some more there up near the vise, near that glue pot, but I would run out fairly fast, because one thing I do like is lots and lots of glyphs. I think, you know, a quarter of my models, probably, well, big models like this, are probably going to end up being like 25% glyphs, which is, you know, it's all right. You know, I can live with that. One of the things that I actually didn't anticipate, the actual flexibility of the as you can see there, you know, look at the fucking state of that, the flexibility of the box that I'm using. I thought it was going to be a bit more rigid than that, so I don't think these press molds are going to turn out very well, but only time will tell. I think I'll end up having to do it rather on my desk, or maybe get a piece of wood or something and then peel them off that. Green stuff mix for these press molds is a 50-50 mix, because I'm not really that fussed. I tend to try and keep my green stuff 50-50 unless I'm doing it for a specific purpose. Obviously, the more blue you have in green stuff, the harder it is, the more yellow, the more flexible it is. If I'm bending something around, I tend to add a lot more yellow, but obviously when there's a lot more yellow, whoa, I'm going to have to cover up my face there. Multiple times. Oh dear, oh dear. Getting too close to it there. Yeah. Just making press molds. Nothing really much more I can talk about on that. Trim the edges off. What I always tend to do when I press it down, I trim the edges and then add them to the pile. You know, the bits that are shaved off, because then you can get a good couple, you know, 2 or 3 more press molds out of it, rather than just like leaving it with a heap ton of excess. A bit of a cup of tea there. Gotta have me brew. Gotta have me brew. Wow, my head got in shot an awful lot in this clip. Holy Christ! So glad I went back over this clip. I thought I'd move the camera a little bit better. Now this is stupid because this is going to be out of sequence now because I don't know what I've talked about. I basically decided to look at this on the last second, and yeah, didn't work too well. Okie dokie guys, now in this bit, what you're seeing me trying to make the stomper less boxy. Now what I'm doing now, I'm kind of trimming the edges and the tabs off this leftover piece of bastion I had from my last stomper slash skull hammer conversion, and just to make the back of it a bit more sticky outy, just to give it a bit more, well, a bit more something really, a bit more something. Mainly more detail, mainly to make it just look not as flat at the back, because that's my biggest worry with this model so far, is the back of it just looks completely flat and sheared off, so there's going to be quite a lot of detailing, quite a lot of stuff going on the back. I'm planning on putting exhausts and stuff, and loads of mad pipes and things, maybe even some slits and some windows. Now guys, what you can see me doing here, I should have really turned this towards the camera more. I found a way of getting rid of a load of my square bases. Fucking hate square bases, and you long-time viewers of my show will know why. So what I'm doing, I'm just gluing them along the edge because I wanted it to have more like a heavily armoured, like bottom edge skirt kind of thing. So these were a nice substitute for using my plastic card. Oh, one fell off there. Didn't really like that, so I gave it the fingers. So yeah, nice solution for, you know, not using lots of plastic card, plus they're beveled, so they just look like big thick armour plates. Gonna add some battle damage to them and things. So yeah, just kind of popping them on the front. Using the old poly cement there. In regards to poly cement, I use Humbrol poly cement because I find it's the best stuff. It's kind of like it's like a thick syrup kind of consistency, so it's not really thin, so you actually have time to catch it if it drips, which is quite good. Other things that I'm doing, some of these square bases I actually had to take off other models, so I'm actually shaving down the bits that are on the top just to make them a little bit more flat. Now what I'm doing, some of them are slotter bases, so what I'm having to do now is I'm having to cut out some bits of plastic card to stick over the top, to add a bit more of a level, so like a stepped effect on there, and also to cover up the slot from the slotter base, because I don't want it to look just like a base is stuck there. I want it to look like a big thick chunky armour plate, as I previously stated. Yeah, I don't really know much more to talk about currently. Well, like, so any suggestions, other suggestions so far, guys, as to what I should do? I do read all your comments and stuff regarding such matters, and it's one of those things that it's really good, because sometimes you guys might think of something that I've not thought of, or you know, you guys might think of stuff that I have thought of, you know, which was really cool because it means that we're both thinking in the same, well, inside the same box really. However, I am a big supporter of out of the box thinking. It turned out that these, the large, not the massive monster bases, the bases that are a step down are actually the perfect size to fit in between on the bevel on the edge of the actual stomper body where it goes in, where I shave the corners off basically, so they are actually the perfect size, which is really good. Bit of procrastination here, just mooching about on the old YouTubes, putting something on to listen to as I do some work. And yeah, here we go, back to work, get some super glue on the go. What am I super gluing? I can't actually remember. Ah, yes. Now, here's interesting, guys. One of you guys actually gave me a massively awesome idea. I'm using split peas here to make really big, chunky orc rivets. Now, I think it might have been Black Blade or Bankai. I can't really remember who it was, but anyway, guys, thank you so much for this idea. See, this is an example of me using your ideas. They worked out a real dream. What I'm kind of doing off camera there, where my hand keeps going, I've actually poured some super glue on my desk. I'm just sticking them on the end of my craft knife, dipping them in, and then gluing them too. Here's a bit of a glyph here that I thought, hey, fuck it, let's just stick that there to break up the fact that I'm using the split peas. But they're really good. I mean, the split peas are hard as fuck. They're almost like a woody texture. So yeah, they work really exceptionally well. I'm not sure how well they'll actually glue because they're porous, but yeah, we will see soon enough. As you can see, guys, none of them have started falling off, so you know, that's a good thing. Add some more glyphs here and there just to break up the split peas. I think I'm going to have a load of glyphs going down the front of it as well. Okay, guys. Now, one of the things that I don't know, you know, that bugs me. I don't know if this bugs you guys as well. When I'm building a scratch build like this, or any kind of model where I'm not using all one particular colour, i.e. grey plastic or all plastic or whatever, it really winds me up when I'm building it, because I just think that the whole thing looks like a pile of shit. Now, does that annoy any of you guys? Because it annoys me, because it looks like a pile of crap until you spray paint it. And when you spray it, base colour, black or white or whatever, everything gets drawn together, everything comes together, and it looks just awesome. Everything, basically, without one lick of spray paint, it becomes finalised, and that's it then, done. You can't see any of the other bits that it came from. It all looks one piece, which looks amazing. So tell me, guys, if any of you guys feel that way as well. On with actually what else I'm doing. We're still in the covering up process of the bases, of the slaughter bases. Now, I wanted initially to make the edge of it a bit bigger, but I was thinking to myself, it actually looks too much like a skirt. If it's bigger, you know, with a big frilly, oh, there's a stomper with a frilly skirt on. Oh, isn't he lovely? It's a lovely stomper. But yeah, so I didn't want it to look like that with big frills, in a way. I don't really know what more I can say. On, you know, oh, fuck. This commentary is getting really, really weird, because I'm kind of like talking as well as trying to watch where I'm up to on the screen. So yeah, I mean, let me know, is my commentary alright, guys? You know, I know I ramble and have a tendency to wander off every now and again, but please let me know if it's okay. It's I'm getting a bit of a complex about it. Okay, guys, now, again, we'll start with this next clip. What we're looking at me basically trying to construct the belly gun of this, because I've decided there's one key thing that I want, and it is the iconic Stomper belly gun. Just because it's just so awkward to have this massive fuck-off gun smack bang in the middle of a miniature. Now, what I'm doing now, I'm using bits of an old Rhino. I think one of the very, very old Rhinos, the ones that look too small for even like 2 Space Marines to go in, to create the belly gun. Now, one thing, guys, please let me know. This is actually going to be the first thing to vote on. Let me know whether or not you think this belly gun is too small. Should I keep it this way, or should I make it bigger? Myself, now I look back on it, it does look a tad bit small, so I wouldn't mind making it bigger. Now, one of the things that I'm actually using for the belly gun, this is the handle off a really, really crap, cheapo piece of shit hobby knife that I got from like a Poundland, because it was just the right thickness, the perfect thickness, in fact, to go in that hole there. Now, the bit that I'm using to make the other part of the belly gun is a little tiny chunk of tiller roll. I've got hundreds of them kicking about, because obviously I work in retail, so I have access to tiller rolls, lots and lots of them. And it actually looks like a really, really cool, kind of like a suspension kind of... I don't really know what the name for the gun is. It's like it, you know, obviously it retracts when it fires. I'm going to add some supports around the edge of the hole that's currently on there. I'm conscious I've said hole quite a bit, guys. A bit weird. But anyway, so let me know what you think. Should it make it bigger? I personally think I should make it bigger, but you know, this is a community thing, so if you guys want me to keep it that way, I'll keep it that way. So yeah, the whole cutting of it and gluing and stuff, super glue, because I don't really know what kind of plastic that handle is. I think it's you know, it would work with poly cement, but super glue is always best just to make sure. Adding, you know, some more little bits of detailing, adding a bit of a door down there, just because I think that the Stomper, they should have doors all over the place, you know, for the crew to get into it, and you know, or abandon ship as the case may be, when they inevitably get blown up, because they're a bit of a mean and nasty thing on the battlefield, Stompers. Bit more procrastination there. What am I doing? This is me trying to think of what I'm going to do next. Oh, bit of face that popped in there. I'll have to sort that at a later date, because at the moment I'm recording commentary. Right, so we've shifted the stomper. Now, what I'm doing here, I'm going to cut out, this is really thick plastic card. I can't remember the precise thickness, but I decided that I wanted to work on the feet of the stomper some more. Rather than just being square blocks, I wanted to add some dags, some big spiky bits for kicking. So what I'm doing, I'm basically cutting out irregular triangles. With orc stuff, I don't feel the need to go mega, measure it to the precise millimetre. So I kind of just go by hand, play it by ear, so to speak. So I'm just making sure that they're all right. So we're going to have like a 3-toed thing on the front and then one more coming on either side. So just gluing them there. Now I was just going to leave it at that. However, what I decided to do in a few minutes, I decided to cut some smaller triangles out and layer it. Because one of the things when you're making orky plates and stuff, having one layer is all well and good, but when they're layered, one on top of the other, they look really, really good, really orky. It looks like the war boss is going, "Oi, mech boy, that's not quite armoured enough, that's not quite thick enough. Smack some more armour on there, lad." I don't know why orcs, everyone when it does an orky voice, they always do like a really rough East End Cockney voice. It's very, very strange. But as you can see, guys, showing you guys there, that is what they're going to look like finally. This is me adding another one because I think, oh, you know, it might just look a little bit better when there's a bit more built up on the edge. And I was right, it did look rather better. Rather most goodly better, yes-ish, whatever. What else can I talk about, guys? Oh yeah, no, forgot what I was going to say. God damn, recording commentary is hard. Really is hard without a plan, and I don't like planning things. Okay, what I'm doing here now, guys, I decided, you know what would look really good? Some more dags going the opposite direction round the edge. So cutting out some tiny, tiny little triangles and adding them to the armour plates where the split peas are. And let me just have a drink because I'm really, really dry. Right, so what I'm doing, I'm adding these to the plates with the split peas because just to add a little bit more detail and to break up the fact that they're going to be split peas. So these things, these smaller dags, these smaller spikes are going to have regular sized rivets. So the small type rivets that I normally use on, just to break up some of the plates that have just got the big blob on there that is the split pea. Going all the way around the edge. I don't know whether or not I'm going to go around the back yet. I probably will. But, you know, also I might decide not to. Because, you know, after all, it's my project. But you guys help out, though. You guys are going to help out. Yeah, I don't really know much more to ramble on about. As you can see, guys, I'm kind of building. I'm going forward and building and detailing from the ground upwards on this, just because I sometimes find that it's easy if you detail as you go along, because then you can bounce ideas off each other, and it's what I tend to do. Sometimes though I will have a complete scatterbrained approach, and I will, there you go, there's another shot of that, I'll have a complete scatterbrained approach and I will just do whatever the hell I want. Okay guys, so now I decided it was probably time to do some more of the back detailing, because it was really annoying with that big massive spot on the back just being very, very plain. Now here you can see I'm using the other bit of the rhino tracks, the bit with the detail on it, to add some kind of an engine and add some kind of worky bits, because, you know, why the fuck wouldn't an orc stick half an old ass rhino into the side of it to be an engine? Hell, the other half of the rhino might be inside there working as the engine for it. You just don't know. You just don't know, guys. So what I had to do, I had to trim it all down because it was really uneven, because it was like super glued. So I trimmed all the super glue away and then started sticking it down. And then I was just like, you know, it's not right, because there was a big gap underneath there like that. So I kind of left it for a while thinking what I could do. In the meantime, I procrastinated a bit and actually thought of, you know, this actual hole here and where the doors would go, what else can I do to make it less flat? So I was, the reason why I'm off camera for so long is because I was actually looking through old paint pots, because again, old paint pot lids make great hatches and turrets and just great looking interesting bits. This is, at the end of the day, I was going to use like one of the flip lid ones, but I decided not to and use one of the old school screw top ones. So I had to like trim it all off there and then stick it on with some super glue. I think I did a much better job this episode, guys, of not getting in shot. Please let me know how you guys feel about that. So yeah, stuck that down there. I don't really know why. A lot this time, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm kind of just going with the flow. That little bit there, I actually thought, oh sweet, these will make excellent little turrets as well. So, back of my head in there. I'm not going to bother getting rid of that because you didn't see part of my face. You can just see my my hair. So yeah, this is me. I'm cutting out now because there's a bit of a big gap underneath it. So what I'm doing, I'm cutting out a piece of plastic card that I can wedge underneath, essentially just to make it look a little bit more fixed on. Probably add some pieces of plastic card shaped like, you know, in like the L shape, the L formation that I do, where I score it once and snap and bend it, just to again make it look a bit more tacked on and a bit more rigid and on there. Okay, now I'm kind of playing around this other rhino, just because this rhino is going to form the basis of the arms. What I want to have eventually, I want to have a set of arms. I also want to have it so that there's turrets on each shoulder, and then underslung arms that are, you know, obviously can articulate and fire. Maybe they won't articulate on the model, but that'll be the general idea in your imagination. Got some random bits here that from the Bastion sprue that I had left over. I actually don't know where a lot of my bits have gone. I think I need to take an inventory of what I've got. So this is me trying to make a bit of a platform because this bit stuck out, and I was thinking this would be the perfect place to add a door, you know, for the back of it. I really actually want some ladders and stuff like that. However, I haven't got a clue where to get them from. I'm actually looking at some Lord of the Rings ladders at the moment, some Urukai, whatever it's, siege ladders, which could trim the tops off and use them. Alright, here we go. Now, I got these Imperial doors from Mr. Pidge. Essentially, just snap them off there, and then shave the back of it down. Bits flying everywhere, because it wasn't even, and I wanted to go pretty flush the door, flush the back of it, so I didn't have to rebuild it up too much. However, that was a bit of a stupid idea, because I had to build it up anyway. Yeah, one of the things that I'm going to be finding with this one is actual guns and turrets and things, because I've run out fairly, you know, quite a bit. I suppose I could make some out of like Tillerol and stuff, but I'd rather prefer the Games Workshop ones. So guys, here I'm going to ask you something. You don't have to do this, of course. You know, I don't often like asking, but if anyone has any like turret bits or any like orc weapons, like orc shooters and stuff lying around that they don't use, if you could please get in touch with me via a PM, that would be really, really good, really, really useful for this project, and it means that then you would have contributed as well. So yeah, guys, if you've got anything you'd like to donate to this project, please get in touch with me via PM. I've had a couple of donations already. Obviously, stuff is in the post, so I'll basically give credit where credit's due on that one. So yeah, as you can see here, we're actually building up the edges where the hinges are going to go, because I'm going to have to make some kind of hinge in some way, because I realised that there isn't one. This is actually a door that is supposed to be inlaid into something. I didn't really work too well on that. But yeah, guys, so that's the end of that video. That's all of what I've got so far, and I thank you for watching. There'll be more on this next week. So yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching, and see you guys again next time. Goodbye.